Well, we are starting a new book called Be Healed. Isn't this exciting?
Yes, it's a very good book.
Yeah, it's a really good book. And so I think we will learn a lot from this, and this will be a part of the retreat that we're having
Yes.
in March. And so this is really exciting. So,
It's by Bob Schutz.
yes, it is. And it's called Be Healed.
It's called Be Healed.
And so the introduction is obviously we start with page 1. And
Not always.
well, and the first thing that he talks about is that inside each of us is this burning desire to become the person that God has created us to be, Lisa.
Yes, to be fully alive and to give ourselves as the gift back to God.
And this whole idea of giving ourselves back as a gift to God, I think is really kind of threaded throughout the entire book, because it's important for us to not look inward, especially when it comes to healing, but to look towards God and to recognize there's no part of who we are that He can't use, right?
Right.
Many of us may hesitate or resist, right? Fearing that the very thing we desire, okay, we avoid God's process of purification and healing.
Because we think it's painful.
Yeah, and so in our attempt to avoid that, we're actually working against ourselves.
Right.
What
And
is
just,
it?
Oh,
Go
I was gonna
ahead.
say, just like in the prayer series, we heard how Jesus thirsts for us, and He continually thirsts for us.
Yeah, He longs to pour Himself out on our behalf, and He desires to fulfill us, not use us.
Yeah, today I was reading the commentary for the Gospel of Luke, and it was talking about how Jesus healed the lepers and how His arm is always outstretched. So sometimes we might be dealing with shame and not thinking we're worthy, but Jesus always has His arm outstretched to us. So I thought that was quite beautiful. It was
is.
very true.
It is very true. So let's do some honest reflection here, okay? Are you thirsting for more from Jesus? Mm-hmm. Are you, Lisa?
Oh yeah.
Good, me too.
And do you long to be more fully alive, but find yourself restricted by fear or shame or disillusionment?
I think this is a good point right here. So many people that you might deal with in spiritual mentorship, okay, will have some level of fear. They'll more than likely have some shame, or they may be disillusioned about how things should be or how they wish they could be different, but they're actually not. And so all of these things are actually getting people to recognize that these are not intended to be a part of who we are, and that they actually restrict our growth is really important point to be making to people during spiritual mentorship.
Yes, and I think it's important to realize that we are all wounded and we all need healing of some sort. And it's a never-ending process, and it's always an opportunity to continually go deeper into our relationship with Jesus.
Yeah, there is no depth by which we have reached the bottom of who Jesus is. And so if you think you are satisfied where you are, and often in spiritual mentorship, people will be happy with where they are.
Yes,
And that's not necessarily a good thing.
right.
But what about, the book talks about the woman at the well, Lisa. So what was going on there?
Well, Jesus revealed her brokenness to her, which no one else she thought really knew, especially a stranger. And He gave her love and truth to heal her wounds.
Yeah, I mean, she was going out to the well at the middle of the day when it was hot because she wanted to avoid all of the other women and the talk and the gossip that would be associated. So she had serious shame
Yes.
because she had 5 husbands, right? And Jesus knew all of this, okay? But we have to remember that His fundamental mission is to restore each one of us to wholeness.
Yes.
And this includes physical illness, spiritual afflictions, psychological infirmities, and all of these things. They are intertwined. They're not separated.
Yes.
What has been your experience in spiritual mentorship, Lisa, with dealing with people who have brokenness?
Everybody has brokenness, so it's quite a process. So some people will really allow Jesus into the wounds and will receive healing, but there's also people who just kind of dwell in the wound and may make some progress in inviting Jesus in, but then they still have that wound that continuously is kind of irritated and opens up.
Yeah, and some people don't even realize that they're wounded. They know they're dealing with something, but they don't recognize that it is a wound that is maybe born out of things that have happened.
Oh yeah.
That we continue to hold on to or have expectation that they might be different.
Right.
All kinds of stuff. Well, this is an exciting journey we're going on in the Be Healed book by Bob Schuchts. So looking forward to being along with you. I'm Deacon Dave.
I'm Layperson Lisa.
See you next time.
Bye.